This is Salam Radio, Peterborough's Muslim community radio. Broadcasting on 106.2 FM and online.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to the Elevate show with myself, Saf
and Mia
and Maliha.
You are listening to us on Salam Radio on 106.2 FM on Facebook Live, Twitter, Twitch and YouTube.
So today's topic, today we actually have a guest with us, Maliha. Maliha, say hi.
Hi everyone, I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, we had her on a previous show with us. And today's topic, we're going to be talking about travel. So I want to start off by asking, like, you guys and everyone who's listening, that, you know, what comes to your mind as soon as we say travel?
Travel is a bit difficult, but what do you think? Because travel is, well, I'm going to finish talking first, but travel for me is more like when you go somewhere, you leave everything behind and you just go and you just enjoy yourself and you see and experience new things. So that's my bit of travel.
That's what comes to your mind first.
Yeah. Chill out, party.
Definitely relax. I think for me, travel, I think of freedom, escaping the reality and escaping normality and just experiencing amazing memories, meeting new people and eating really good food.
Oh God, the food is everything when you think of travel.
Definitely.
Like, to me, when I think of travel, I think of like definitely new experiences and just like how when you go there, you're going to definitely see a new side of yourself as well. Because when you think of travel, you think of like seeing yourself in different clothing, different stuff.
Facing new challenges.
Exactly. Like the outfits you wouldn't wear here, you definitely wear on travel. And it's just like seeing yourself in a different like surrounding and spectrum. So first of all, so we just spoke about like what we think of travel and everything. Do you think travel is important?
Yeah, it builds character, builds independence, builds loads of things. It builds a person, really. Don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. Travel shapes you as a person because I feel like you're actually pushing yourself out of your comfort zone by, you know, either embracing new cultures, meeting new people and like facing fears. That also.
Yeah, like I think travel is significant because we need it because we live in such a multicultural world as well. And like without travel and without experiencing different cultures, etc., we won't only learn about ourselves, but we learn about different people. That way as well, even the people we interact with, like let's say we interact with another person from an Eastern culture, like East Asian culture, for example, and we don't even know what they're like or anything. We will learn so much more about why they are like that and why they're not like that. And I think it's so significant.
You learn the differences and similarities, and that's really, really interesting because, like, just even if it's like one or two doorsteps away, like say France or something, it's so close, but there's so many differences. It's crazy. Just something so small.
Europe is quite diverse than we think it is.
Exactly, and there's so much difference, but so much similarity because they're so close and so together. Do you get it?
Yeah.
I hope that came across right.
I feel like also maybe like if you were learning a new language, let's say there's only so much a textbook or an app could teach you. True, yeah. Like you need to actually go out there and embrace the dialogue and really get to know people by talking in their language and learning from them.
Learn the slang.
Learning the slang.
I know someone who's like learning Spanish, and that individual like she could speak it really well and everything, but she doesn't have the dialect, like you know, the local one, so that when she speaks, they know that she learns it.
Oh,
and it's not like, oh, she's a natural, like, you know, it's part of her, it's not part of her.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I think that's so important because definitely I sound whitewashed when I say speak so many languages.
I know. Do you know what? I feel like when you're learning a language, this is a little bit off topic, but I don't know about you, but I'm not a fluent speaker in, I don't know how to, what do we call it? Our own languages, say that much. We're not fluent, but I mix words in to my English sense. So I'm like saying English sentence and there's a word just in a completely different language.
Out,
yeah, it just comes out, and it's just like that's how it is. That's how we know it. But I think it's fun.
But that's a cool thing, like, because I watch so many shows in different languages, for example. So I don't know full languages, but I know like certain words from like multiple languages. And I went to Turkey, and when I was there, I literally used what I learned from the shows. I was like, oh, the chocolate, or this and that, like that's thank you and stuff. Literally just from watching shows and so. And it's so nice when you put it into practice, because the locals really appreciate it.
Having the basics is really, I think, at least vital when you travel, because it shows a bit of respect, and it also just
it shows your love for the culture and
just
everything.
There to like party, but it can be. But I mean, if you're there, at least nicely party. Does that make sense?
Nicely party.
Someone can interpret it some way.
Do you think that it's like important for young people to travel? Because I know like travel, most of us do it for leisure reasons. But like for young people, do you think it's important for them for leisure and like for other stuff?
Yeah, of course. Because like, again, when you're growing up, you go through all these experiences. That's what makes you. And if you travel and experience the outside world, that's going to make you, because you have experience of something completely different, completely outside of what your comfort is or what you know. So having that, I think it's great. I think it's probably a good thing.
I think it makes you more responsible, makes you more mature, because obviously you're being thrown into like kind of like a different world, a new environment. And I think it also makes you more open-minded and makes you want to try new things.
You have to learn to adapt to the surroundings that you're in, which is quite, when you're so used to somewhere, say like we're so used to England, then if we was to travel completely somewhere new, of course you're going to have to learn to adapt and stuff, because these are not the same people you're around usually. So
like I think it's really important for young people to travel, especially because from someone who like who has traveled like as a young person, it's so important because you learn so much about yourself as well. But also because, you know, you're at that stage in your life where you're like a sponge. You know, like what the adults say like you're like a sponge. You soak everything in. And it's like, it's so important, because I feel when you're adult, you mostly do it for leisure purposes. Like, oh my God, I need a holiday, which equals I need a break. Like, I just need to sit down somewhere in the sun.
Yeah, be in the beach, drink in your hand.
Exactly. Like, just chilling. Like, I feel that's what it equals to. And it kind of like takes away from the experiencing or like the real feeling of travel if you were younger. Like, I know a lot of adults do when they're older, but that's mostly those ones who really dedicate themselves to travel.
Or they have time, you know, flexible
I feel like
time.
it's best to travel when you're sort of in your, not too early, is like, say when you're like 13, 14 and you travel somewhere and you just like, I don't feel like you take it in very well, like, or you don't take it.
I guess it depends on your maturity as an individual. So I agree with you though.
But like, you take it in, but when you're like a little bit older, say like your late teens, early 20s, you absorb it more and you understand it more, like what you're seeing, what you're looking at, who these people are, whatever you're looking at. So, you know.
That is true.
So I feel that's important.
And you have to be not broke. You need to be having that bag.
Honestly, like, I feel like as a young person as well, with money, we're so tempted to just buy everything.
Anything we see, I need that.
Like, you should see me, like, I'm like, oh, if this is locally made, I'm gonna just buy it.
Yeah.
Like, even if it has no
supporting a business.
Support the business.
Honestly, like, I guess that's why sometimes parents, they kind of restrict their children from traveling. Do you think I think it's a lot more than money reasons, but I do feel it is a big, like, issue, especially in like our Muslim community, is like lack of travel.
Yeah, agreed, because if you don't experience, then you're kind of just like stuck in your ways, and you don't, not really stuck in your ways, but like you don't see as much as people. And when people talk about these things, you're like, oh, I haven't felt that or seen that in some sort of way, and it does make you feel a bit alone. I don't know, do you know what I mean? Like, you may have experienced something I haven't, because you may have been somewhere I haven't, but does it, you know, you talk about experience and that's great, but do you know what I mean? It can make someone feel like, I haven't experienced anything like that as of this moment. So then when you don't have the chance to do that, you do feel a bit like, oh,
restricted.
Yeah, you feel like that's not fair. I want to see this. I want to see the world, because it's a beautiful place, the world.
Yeah.
That didn't sound very convincing.
It is.
It's full passion there.
I don't think it's seen as normal for a Muslim girl to travel on her own because, you know, it's meant to be like, oh, well, it's not safe for women to be out in the world by themselves. Do you know what I mean? So many things could happen. But then it's also like maybe parents just don't want to let go of their kids. Yeah. You know, it's that, you know, like, you are my child and I'll tell you where you can go or not, maybe controlling wise.
I feel it could be more like, say, for example, when your child goes to university, it's sort of like letting go on the fact that they're a child and you don't have to look after them anymore. I feel it's the same way in the sense of traveling because you're not there for them to do everything for them. Like, you know, handling the passports and running around. And
like, they have to be the adults.
But now you're growing into being an adult, you sort of...
It hits them different.
Yeah, I feel like maybe it's like because all their lives they've been there to make sure everything's okay, everything's, you know, in place.
Protect us from like that world.
And I feel like it is a level of protection, but also a level of like fear, like have they done a good enough job in case something's going to happen to you and then they'll feel guilty. Yeah.
Like, that's an instinct of a parent though, isn't it? It's always going to be the case. There's nothing that, you know... that doesn't happen. Every person is a child of somebody, and that person's who's got a parent is gonna feel like that. My words are not today, just not working. English is not Englishing.
Like I feel a lot of, especially of ethnic minority cultures in the Islamic, you know, they like. When they do travel, they mostly just travel back to their home countries, and they don't go anywhere else. And it's like they also limit their kids from that as well because they only think the only reason I'm here is to maybe earn or do whatever, and then all I'm going to do is go back to see my family. And I feel that limits them.
Even like when you do go back to your home countries and stuff, sometimes some families only just stay in that one place. They don't explore the whole of that country.
No, it's so
not
true.
even go to the outside cities. Not even. That's what I feel is such a shame because families and that place that we've been taught that's our home, we don't even get to see it, which is a shame because
we don't see the true beauty.
Because we will have this like idea that it's just one thing, and then if you don't like it, if you do like it, you know, that's what you stick to.
Yeah.
The idea of that. So.
Yeah, it's so boring just like being in your one.
So boring.
Yeah, because you see the same thing.
You like going to that one home, you get so tired of walking around the same place.
Yeah,
exactly. Seeing the same faces. Like, if it's your homeland, then why aren't you seeing the true beauty of it? Why aren't you exploring it, learning more about it?
Exactly. Like, that's exactly what I think as well. Because we're brought up in England, so we have our cultures, for example, but we're still so distant away from it. And even when we go back to our home countries, which our parents mostly force us to in the first place, like
definitely,
we're so limited at the same time from actually seeing the whole country at whole. Especially a lot of us live in very diverse countries that they have a lot of, you know, different cultures within that one country. It's not all the same.
No area is the same.
Yeah.
Like it's like Scotland and England, not the same.
Exactly.
Every city, every country has a different story to tell.
Accents as well.
With that dialect stuff. But yeah, like I think you know why, like a lot of people, especially Muslim parents, I feel like they're afraid as well because of a lot of Islamophobia with travel and allowing their kids, even when they're with their kids as well, I feel like they still get afraid when they're not used to surroundings. They, for example, I know somebody who might be traveling and they're afraid that, you know, something's going to happen to them, etc. But England is such a dangerous place as it is. Like, we're not afraid of here as much as we're afraid of other countries, but it might actually be safer for us.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Because we're so conditioned to the fact that we think England's safe, but we could get stabbed outside our door. You know what I mean? We don't even know.
No, England is not safe. Who said that?
That's
wrong. That is so wrong.
No, the amount of... It is true, though. It's really scary because nowadays it's so prominent, like crime and just danger to not only women, but males as well, and human beings. They can just go home, walk to the shop, and then that happens, you know, they get hurt. And it's quite a shame because you'd think with the whole safety of this country, as they like to put it, you know, cameras everywhere and things like that.
Yeah, police 24 hours.
Yeah, monitoring and stuff like that, you'd think. But it's not as safe, and you can't even walk outside.
I don't think
walking.
anywhere is safe.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't think anywhere is 100%
No
safe.
Yeah.
way. But I mean, that's why I feel like even here, parents are still restricting when it comes to this country
Yeah,
as
just
well.
travel within the UK. Like, let's just talk about that.
Yeah.
Traveling
Traveling
going
within
to
your own-
another city.
Exactly. Like
Exactly.
taking the train ain't that difficult, but people make it.
The funny thing is when parents they won't allow their children to travel to different cities, but they'll let them move there for university.
Yeah.
Literally. Oh my
But
god.
universities are also a very scary place, but that's another conversation. But
Also, I think maybe that's a good thing as well, because it allows people to slowly, in like a travel sense, move out of their comfort zone, which slowly introduces them to new surroundings.
well, to be honest, it is sort of like traveling in the sense of that you meet so many variety of different people. Like there's everyone from every different sort of background. So in that sense, you're meeting the whole world.
Yeah, I never saw it like that. That's a good way of seeing
I kind of
it.
thought about it.
Especially if you go to a university that's like really multicultural, I guess.
The
Yeah.
majority of them, I would assume, are.
Mm.
Don't quote me on that. But
Like talking about like Islam and the links, I feel a lot of also Muslim parents, there's more of like fear of their own experiences when coming to this country as well, and just more culture side, because one thing I know about Islam is literally like the advocate of travel.
Like,
literally
get
the
out
biggest
there.
literally.
Yeah, like Allah made this world. Why aren't you gonna go see every single bit of it?
And it's like that quote, I think I've said it before, but that one in the Quran where it says like, you know, I created you nations and tribes to get to know one another. And it's like, well, if we can't get to know one another unless we travel.
Yeah,
exactly. Gotta move.
unless we
outside.
open our horizons, how are we gonna know? How are we gonna connect to people and everything? You know?
I think even just meeting people within like certain things that you do, like say, for example, this radio show that we do, we've met so many different people of every different background and age and stuff like that. That people, it's new friends and new people that you've never met and with different experiences as well. That in itself, I feel it is a slight bit of travel because you're traveling outside of something that you're not comfortable with usually, that you've never done before. So you're traveling to do that thing.
That is really true, because when I would travel before, you know, like Islam wasn't really a key factor in my life before, but now, alhamdulillah, like it is much more, and inshallah it will get better. But when I traveled recently, I'm not joking, when I saw when I met different people, I was like living Islam through me. So when I was meeting them, they literally like really affected me in deep ways that I would have never like felt before when I was traveling before, because I never took it as an experience of I'm now gonna see someone in a different light and listen to their life stories. And just, you know what, traveling has just been such a blessing in my life as well personally, because I've learned some really deep stories and met some really deep people who I would probably, if I saw them on the street, I would think, oh, they're just like every other person, but they've lived such deep and raw stories, and I got to learn that in such a short period of time. And it's I feel like that's such a wholesome thing about traveling.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Conversations that you have in travel, I don't think you can have sort of at home, because it's not the same, because the environment is not the same. Do you get it? When you're outside in the world, when you meet so many different people are more willing to share, because you're all in the same boat, in the sense of that you're all in this, and you're not familiar with it. So you go to get, say if you go in like in a group of strangers, then that in that sense you're all in the same boat. So then you feel the need to share, and you become closer through those experiences together. And I feel that's a really beautiful thing about travel, if you do that.
You see them in a whole new different light, and you also
Yeah.
see into their hearts in a way, if that makes sense. Like you're seeing all these different sides to them, but also the stories that have made them the person they are today. And I think like meeting new people when you're traveling, you also get to know yourself more, realizing things you didn't even know you did, or then they have picked up on.
Yeah, and it's just like, like you're saying, I feel like people also, they show you that different side of you. Like they will tell you something about yourself like you've never heard before.
Yeah.
And they'll also tell you stuff about like, because they have a different perspective on life as well most of the time, and so they're seeing you in a different light than maybe someone you know back in England or wherever you're from. And it's so interesting as well, like I had so many, well, I wouldn't say stereotypes or anything, but I had like my opinions of people from certain cultures and stuff. And then when I went traveling, those people like literally broke all those out of my like head and literally showed me like, you know, there's a person behind this like view that I had of these people, and I was able to break those for those people as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, you could, you know, change someone's viewpoint or change someone's heart just from traveling or interacting with them.
Yeah, I mean,
It's fascinating.
you're not wrong. I mean, when you just holding a conversation from someone from anywhere that is not the same as you leads to stuff like that as well. So I feel like travel doesn't necessarily mean obviously it means go somewhere, but it also doesn't mean that. It also means even within what you've got, you're traveling to, again, like before, you're traveling to like travel and make
My words are not wording today.
Oh, goodness me. Well, yeah, that was my point. My point was just you're traveling. But you know what I mean, I think. Anyway, let's move on, because that was not
I think you're
the
also
point.
kind of like traveling to meet yourself in a way.
That's it.
That's
Yeah, because like you're going into, like, you're talking to them, but you're also finding so much about you within that, because you, like you say, you know, you go there and you break so many different barriers and not stereotypes, but yeah.
A lot of us do have this, even without thinking.
Yeah, without realizing we're
Trust
already.
me, we all judge, and we all should not, but we do, and that's not always our fault as well. It's also like what the media
It's just like
says.
wired into us in a way. I don't.
I mean, it's society. It makes us do that,
Yeah.
I think, more so, because what we see all the time, we're looking at people all the time on different platforms, but there's so many differences and so many alterations that happen that people make, or, you know, stuff like that. Of course you're going to be like, this is the difference, and you're going to see that. I'm going to think, oh, this opinion or that opinion. So that's the way it is, isn't it? Really.
True. You know, I saw this post, yeah. I don't know if I told you guys this before, but like it was like how Muslims, you know, their type of Italy is a Turkey. Turkey is like the Italy for Muslim people.
Yeah.
Every Muslim from every country in the world would be in Turkey in like the summer.
Turkey's a beautiful place. I love it there.
I think we're all just so drawn to Turkey.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
It's just like
it's
the
not a
gem.
summer if you haven't gone to Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't lived life if you haven't been to Turkey.
I feel like every family, if they haven't been anywhere besides their home country, the only other country they will go to is Turkey.
Turkey.
Yeah.
Why is it? Why do they want to go to Turkey rather than anywhere else? Like, I understand Turkey's beautiful.
It sort of
and
feels like
everything.
home. When I was there, I loved it. I felt so comfortable because it sort of feels like home.
Do you know what
Quite
my
literally.
theory is? I think it's because it's the one place that's between the east and the west.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
So they're right in the middle. So you like best of both worlds.
You just cross a bridge and you're on the other side.
Mhm.
I travelled. I
Wow.
stepped on the other side. That was a bad joke.
Yeah.
But like I just thought, you know, that is the most truest thing I've ever seen in my life. And like, you know how every European will go to Italy and we will all go to Turkey.
That is just the
Legit.
thing in us.
And like, sorry, did I?
No, you can carry on.
Like, you know, another funny thing like about Muslims traveling, I feel, you know, especially, you know, they check everything like 100 times.
Yeah.
And also one thing as well, they'll always put like strings or something on their suitcase. Find their suitcases.
I don't even think it's just Muslim. I think it's anybody who travels. They usually have something on there.
I see like every other hijabi person and like a little strap on their thing,
Yeah, it's
coloured
like a
thread or something.
daga and just like loads of like different pieces of cloth just randomly, or stickers, loads of stickers.
Is that to like protect the suitcase more or something? Like, what is
I don't
that?
know. I thought it was just, you know, to make sure like they know it's their suitcase.
Oh.
But then again,
Decorate
maybe
it.
I'm just,
I
why
don't
do you
know.
do this? Like, why do Muslims
It
do
could be
this?
so that you could just spot your suitcase like straight away.
Yeah.
Oh, the funny antics, honestly, that you see. in Muslim
We need to
families.
find out what is the reason behind it.
I'm pretty sure it's mostly just because people can't figure out whose suitcase is whose, and they usually tend to buy them in the same one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
same
there's a sticker
size, same color.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was cheap. So, you know, they got a sticker on it, so they know, at least.
You know what? Another funny thing is when I see Muslims traveling back to their home countries and they have like a whole suitcase just full of like gifts and
my
like
God. Clothes, sandals, food,
Sweet.
and
medicine.
like, boxes. You know those trolleys where you're supposed to put the suitcase on and
Yeah.
push it. Honestly, and then they'll have like boxes and everything on them, just tied to it and everything. Like, why are you taking like
And
a
they
whole?
know what they have inside. They wrap it up with like 7 different things, and then they just bubble wrap it.
Oh my god!
Dude, you got to bring back trauma for me. Talking about it.
And it's like just seeing that at the airport, I'm like, damn, they're like moving their whole house there or something.
No, but that's the fun in it. That's why I think travel is so amazing, because it's so funny at the same time. When you record these things, the only thing you think about is not even the actual holiday, it's the traveling bit.
Honestly, I feel like we all have
Traveling.
such funny like travel, you know, like memories and like definitely airport memories.
Yeah.
There has to be.
There has
I
to
think
be
that
something. if you
being
really
in the
think about
airport is such a vibe.
Honestly.
Like,
Oh, tell me about
Depends
it.
on what airport.
yeah, that is true.
I
I mean, maybe London, Heathrow, Manchester, like
Oh,
you're
she named
getting
them all.
the travel vibes.
Okay, we will be back after the break. Inshallah. See you guys then.
Stay tuned to Salam Radio after this short ad break.
Asia Restaurant gives you the unique fusion of flavours from Turkey, Iraq, Syria and Iran. Our shish kebabs are grilled on a charcoal barbecue for that authentic taste. Lamb shanks, fresh shawarma, chili kebab, lamb shish, grilled chicken, freshly made baklava and so much more. Eat in or order through Peterborough Eats or Peterborough Grab. Asia Restaurant, 5 Fitzwilliam Street, Peterborough, PE1 2RU. Call us on 01733 562 530. Great prices, great quality. Why not come and find out for yourself? Asia Restaurant, the true taste of the Middle East.
मैं महानूर मजीद हूँ और कोर्ट मेरा एक खूबसूरत आशियाना है जहाँ मेरे जैसे हजारों यतीम और बेसहारा बच्चों की कफालत बेहतरीन अंदाज में की जा रही है। आएं हमारे सरों पर दस्ते शफकत रखें और इस माह रमज़ान अपने सदक़ात, खैरात और एहतियात से हमारी कफालत में अपना हिस्सा डालें। अल्लाह पाक आपका दिया हुआ माल अपनी बारगाह में कबूल फरमाए। आमीन।
Court UK office
0300 123 774 court.org.uk.
At Cake Inn, all our cakes and slices are freshly baked for that delicious taste. At Cake Inn, we bake 100% vegetarian and halal eggless fresh queen cakes. Delicious flavoured cakes for birthdays and weddings, ceremonies and all other occasions, with free customised messages, even balloons and candles too. Order for delivery or collection from Cake Inn, 489 Lincoln Road, PE1 2PE, and your cake could be ready within 2 hours. Find out more and order online at cakein.co.uk or call 01733 496 584.
Peterborough. Who said good quality fried and grilled chicken has to be expensive? At Sam's, we take pride in every piece of chicken that leaves our kitchen. Just one bite of our chicken or burgers is all it takes to realise we are the best. Visit us at our brand new place at 333 Lincoln Road, PE1 2PF. Or order a delivery through Just Eat, Uber or Deliveroo. Sam's, the home of great tasting chicken for over 30 years.
The flooding here is on an epic scale, with streets turned into rivers and entire districts submerged by the unending cycle of monsoon rains.
The floods in Pakistan are devastating. Please tune in to Salam Radio from 4 p.m. on Saturday the 10th of September for a live appeal. Hear from those on the ground in Pakistan, and please donate what you can to help UKIM raise funds for critical aid. Please donate by calling the studio from 4 p.m. on Saturday the 10th of September on 01733 602 133 or donate online at ukim.org.
I don't know how to rebuild my destroyed house. Even I don't have anything to feed my family. I lost everything. I don't know where to go. God help me.
If you have an idea for a show and want to get involved, email info@salamradio.co.uk.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم حميم تنزيل الكتاب من الله العزيز الحكيم إن في السماوات والأرض لآيات للمؤمنين وفي خلقكم وما يبث من دابة آيات لقوم.
Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to the Elevate Show with Saf,
Mia,
and Maliha.
Sorry, we just had a moment
I
there.
thought someone else was going to introduce me.
You are listening to Salam Radio on 106.2 FM on Facebook, Live, Twitter, Twitch and YouTube.
So before the break, we were talking about like airport antics and like, what happens in the airport when like Muslims go traveling and stuff. And the Saf has a very funny story of her own.
Okay, so what happened was,
I need to hear this.
basically, we were, I don't know what we
Do you want me to tell?
Yeah, you tell. You probably sound funny.
See, I have to tell her story to everybody.
I can't remember.
So like once we were traveling and we were, you know, Doha Airport.
Yeah.
In Qatar, which is such a nice airport, by the way.
Mate.
It is it. Like it is the it factor.
Was it really big?
It's so big. It's
It
like a
was
massive
so
teddy
big.
bear.
She was like, it was beautiful.
Gasping.
Wow.
How could you not know?
It's like a massive teddy bear in the middle of it. It's so cool.
Yeah,
Never been.
You've never been?
No.
You've never had like a layover there?
I've gone.
I don't know. I just feel like maybe everyone's had like some sort of layover there. Maybe.
No, I swear I haven't been.
Damn, girl, you need
Or maybe
to
I don't remember.
Maybe you don't.
I don't know, maybe I don't remember. I don't remember a big teddy bear.
So once,
It was
yeah.
shiny.
So we were getting like we want a layover to go to Pakistan.
Yeah, I can
And
see.
like one of our members in our family had to go to the toilet and we were like stuck and we were waiting and that person was not coming out, and so then we decided to walk, and then we realized, oh my gosh, our gate is like on the other side of the airport.
My.
We had like what 10 minutes to get to the other side.
Oh, okay.
And so
Airports
we were
are
like
really
walking
big.
really fast and running, and then this like, you know, this people in the airport who like help out people who can't walk or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
They pulled up with a caddy thing, yeah. And they were like to the elderly people, like the older people that were with them. They were like, okay, you guys can get on it, and there's one more extra seat. Guess who took that seat?
Me.
This girl is a child, and she
I
took
was like,
that
I'm
seat.
not walking.
Oh
Punch
my
that.
goodness! And so, like, you know, I thought, okay, it was courtesy, you know, for, you know, the older people,
I'm
you know,
older
like
than you.
kindness. And this girl, and then they were all driving. She was waving, and we were just running behind her.
behind. They were running, and I was just sat there just waving.
Oh my god! I feel like, oh, this has happened to me. It's like always these people in the family, honestly.
Oh, wow.
Do you know what?
You're like, girl, there's a seat and I'm taking it.
You got an opportunity, you gotta take it, mate. I took it. And I was living my life.
Main
Looking at
character
you, running.
But that's like the thing with travel. I feel like you have to take opportunity, especially with the seats on the airplane. Oh my gosh!
When you ask somebody to swap a seat, they're not gonna swap.
When I travel with family, I'm like, I'm trying to get to the window.
It's every man for themselves.
Literally.
Oh, let's talk about airport food.
No,
Airplane food. But airport food as well.
No, that gives me trauma.
What? Why? What kind of food did you have?
When I was younger, I was like really badly sick, like felt sick all the time. I felt sick 6 times.
Which airline?
Sorry?
Which airline?
PIA.
Oh my
goodness.
Girl, don't. No. Girl, that airline gives everybody.
The food. The food.
Full stop. Right there.
It was horrendous. I'm sorry, but it was just not nice at all. And the smell of the food made me feel sick 6 times. TMI, I know, but
I feel like, oh my god.
I think we went off topic. But I mean, that's what makes travel so fun, because you can just talk about so many different aspects and it'd be so funny.
So many different experiences just being at the airport.
Honestly,
and everything.
just without even getting on the flight yet. You haven't even travelled.
You're already having adventures.
Going to the toilet, that's what happens. But yeah.
Funny memories.
No, but I feel airports make a bit of trouble. And when people talk about it, I feel like it doesn't get enough thing because everyone just talks about the holiday. But I mean, the aspect and the run up to it is sort of to a celebration, really, because it is a celebration in the sense of your holiday or whatever it is that's important to you. But the run up is like the run up to buying clothes and going to Primark with 7 bags and returning half of them, and then
and the packing.
Yeah.
And like just the children dragging everything, and the parents just stand there with the passports, but the children are dragging the suitcase.
Yeah.
Honestly, like we are just left there to just do all the dirty work.
Yeah.
It's always the older kids who just have to be responsible for the young people. It's just we suddenly become a parent in there.
Honestly, I mean, for me, the best airline so far I've been on is Turkish Airlines.
Oh,
yeah, I would think that would be the nicest airline, not gonna lie.
I can't remember if I've been on that.
No, I've not been on that.
Oh. I probably, I have. And it was
Actually,
good.
you know what, Emirates? They gave us a free goodie bag.
Do you know what I learned recently? Their hats, you know the scarves that you have, they're Velcro?
Wow.
Yeah, they could take them off.
Oh yeah, but are you talking about the air hostesses?
Yeah.
The air hostesses are also pretty. Do they just hire pretty? Okay, listen.
We're going off topic.
No, I'm listening.
But yeah, like I just didn't know that. So
yeah, that's
but
interesting though. We will find out new stuff about airlines.
Love an airline.
That's such a weird way to say something.
But I don't know. Traveling is just fun. I think there's fun in it. It just makes it so mentally healthy.
Inshallah, we'll be back soon. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So we were talking about the air hostess stuff.
Ah, no, yeah, we were. Our air hostesses, I think that in itself is a job.
Yeah.
That is a job. And I think that's amazing when people do that because they have to go away from home. And that is, well, they get to do it for fun. Not for fun, for a job. But they get to have fun while doing it.
I don't think cleaning second service.
No, but I mean, yeah, but like...
seeing a new country every day. That's to me,
and it's just a shift for them. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I just thought it's just... These people, it does link back to travel and why it's so important because these people, they have to go home, and then when they go home, they have to go back to travel, and it's so tedious on them as well, and that affects their health.
We'll be back soon, inshallah, after the dawn plays.
You're listening to Salam Radio, and it's now time for Maghrib Azan. This Azan is sponsored by Park Foods. Come and see the difference.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة لا إله إلا
الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم، وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة وابعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته. اللهم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم بك نحيا وبك نموت وإليك المصير. رضينا بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسولا.
Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to the Elevate Show with me, Saf.
Me, Mia.
Maliha.
And you're listening to Salam Radio on 106.2 FM on Facebook, Live, Twitter, Twitch and YouTube.
So,
we were talking about travel and mental health. Reason why I brought up what they call air hostess, because these are young people and they have to mentally go through a lot just to be where they are. That's why I brought it up, and that's why I think it's important, because it's part of traveling, but it's also a job.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you laughing?
I'm not laughing.
No, but seriously, it's I just think it's such an amazing job, but it's so difficult for people to live with, just because they have to travel and it's a shift for them, and I think that affects people mentally. And these people are young; they have to. Majority of them are young. They start young, don't they?
Yeah,
you see them; they're like young women and a lot of young males as well. And I think that it comes back to travel, because you can enjoy the time, but it's also, these are workplaces as well. And it's so hard to for me, if it was me, I feel like it would be difficult to put it into a work space when you just think you're going on a holiday. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, like everybody travels in so many different ways. Like some people do travel for work purposes. It's like an air hostess, like you said, or for other work purposes. Yeah. And then some people travel for leisure, etc. So yeah, I feel like each person, even when they're traveling, can be experiencing so many different emotions and mental health,
because you've got to be mentally aware, and also because you have to think about what's going on inside of the plane, and obviously you have to think about where you're going as well, because some places have regulations and some places have, so when you go to Mecca, Medina, when you enter, and if it's like an Umrah plane or a Hajj plane, you got to be the air hostesses have to be ready and prepared for those occasions as to what might happen or where they're going, and etiquette and stuff like that. It's quite important, because I just think that's an essential part of it, because they are part of travel, those people, because they make the plane, they make the environment, and they also help you. And I think they have a mental sort of how do I put it? They are part of the way that you're going.
Oh, your experience.
Yeah, that's the words.
Now you're reading a mind.
Words today, but I think it's important that people bring up and talk about the fact of their mental health as well, because mental health is not only for the traveller, it's also for the people working on that as well. I think nobody talks about that enough. I think that should be brought up as well. Do you think?
I think everything you said was bang on. Yeah, I think especially because they kind of have to balance out their lives in terms of, they have a job to do for traveling, but obviously with travel you want to spend time in that country, experience things, and have a time off. So it's balancing out both of those different lives in a way.
Yeah, but when you come back home as well, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Your relationships and do you know what I mean, like how you're doing with your education, whatever it may be, all balancing that and making sure that it's consistent and balanced, because that must be really difficult for those people. So it must have such a mental toll on them, because even just working at home, kind of difficult, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you guys are saying about balancing, etc. I saw this thing when I was you know, researching about travel, etc. And like they would say, you know, when you travel, and this like really does link in with Islam as well, and like I guess your mental state as well, because when you travel, it challenges that as well, because you can't just pack everything that you own. You know, you have to really consciously choose what you're going to take with you. So you know, you choose what you want to take. You know, what is actually important to you for that trip, and like, you know, you have to think about this stuff and everything. And like, I just saw what they said was like traveling is like a metaphor for like the afterlife, because what you choose to take with you is going to affect you when you reach to that destination. And I feel that really links with balancing out, you know, what is important, because travel makes us question as well, you know, what's important for me.
Yeah,
like,
what's the necessity?
What is, I need my clothes, I need my essentials. You don't take like, you know, your grand this and that you bought for your bedroom or this and
you
that.
don't take expensive things, and you usually just take the one thing that you need, and that's it.
A suitcase is the size for a reason.
But I mean, people expand those, so.
But like in most cases,
In most cases, you have a suitcase and you only have to pack the things that you know that are important to you, that are essential, that are gonna help you during your travels.
I think that's why a lot of people are now turning to minimalism, even though that has nothing to do with that. But minimalism, in a sense, does, because when you're thinking in that mindset of just the minimum that you need to bring, or even the maximum within that small environment that you have of that suitcase. So you know what is essential again.
And people don't want to, I feel like, overpack, because they actually want to take stuff home with them, you know, things to remember by.
What they gain from that experience, they want to bring back with them.
Oh, that's lush, isn't it?
And I feel like that is the ultimate thing of, you know, when, for example, linking it to Sufism, for example, is like live your life as a traveler. It's like traveling is kind of like preparing you for that kind of lifestyle if you want to take that path.
Yeah.
And it's like, because you obviously need to take something with you, but you don't take unnecessary stuff, but you gain so much that you can bring back, like you said as well, leaving that space there for it. And I feel like that's your mindset. So, you know, you can go in with, you know, taking, you know, like for example, you need your communication skills, you need your, you know, money skills as well to transfer money, etc. You need all this type of skills to get through securities, etc., or to be safe, you know, be aware. It's always boggling your mind, and then, you know, but you also need
become
space
discombobulated.
as well.
It's my new favorite word.
And become confident as well.
Yeah. I love how she just slid that in.
I had to slide it in. I've been saying it all day, like the fourth time today.
And just like as well, what you're gonna gain from it, like maybe you come across somebody and you have such a deep conversation that you need that space in your head as well to take that in and to bring it down to your heart and your soul and like, you know, for you as a person to embrace what you've.
When you travel, it leaves an imprint. It does. It leaves an imprint in your mind, in your heart, especially if it's somewhere that it means somewhere to you, like something to you, sorry. That's when you know that had an effect. Like, I remember multiple times in different places, I felt something in that certain space. You may have felt something in that certain space, wherever you may have been. But it always leaves that memory and imprint.
The lessons you learn will stay with you forever.
Wow.
And like your mental state, I know a lot of people travel like on holidays, you know, they need a mental break from everything. And that's the beauty as well, because some people travel for knowledge, some people travel to actually, you know, boggle their minds a bit more. But some people just travel like just to let it all out in a way that they think is best for them.
Like healing maybe as well. Yeah.
Like a lot of...
Nicely said. Like, healing is definitely the right word, I think.
Yeah. Like, I feel like a lot of, like, when you think about why do people travel to certain places, because a lot of different lands and stuff have a lot of different natural powers to them, like natural healing.
Yeah. Especially where it comes to holiday spaces, that's where they usually have the most natural or, like, you know, relaxing sort of styled things. And I think that's what people like to go to, relaxing and open spaces, not having to work in maybe where they are,
or overthinking their brain,
city life. And people might not want to be like that,
escaping the big busy city where it just feels like hectic, because it's hectic in your mind as well.
Yeah, like, you know, travel, and that's the beauty of it as well, it brings us back to the core memory of that, you know, we need that freedom, that space as well, that we don't usually get when we're living in our fast, like, rat life, you know, like, you know, the rat race life.
There's go.
Yeah, And it's like when we go on travel, we actually start to like experience, like we listen to the sounds more. We, you know, feel the
you feel the ground. Like, I don't know about you, but like when you take off your shoes and you really feel the ground, like literally.
Like it's telling you a story.
Yeah. Wow, that's deep. Sorry.
I'm deep like that.
She's just dropping these gems.
No, well, you need to eat more regularly. But yeah, definitely. It does make you as a human being. It does make you open your eyes to everything and the beauty of the world, doesn't it? So Allah did that.
Yeah, and it's just like, wow, you know, when you travel and you see that, like, Allah's beautiful world is so diverse and so magnificent.
In it.
Takes your breath away.
Literally, like.
I mean, even if you can't travel, I say this is weird, but you know, like if you see like David Attenborough and like Blue Planet and stuff like that, those documentaries in itself is sort of traveling because you're escaping into the world that way. Because you might not be, for whatever reason, not be able to do so, like travel yourself, but seeing all that, the beauty, the cinematography in that way, it captures everything, and it's so amazing to see, like, you know, this is what's been created for us, or like, you know, by Allah, you know, for us to see at least, you know what I mean?
It's like you're there with David.
Yeah,
you're there with
like,
him.
Great.
And like I agree. I feel like, you know, the way you pointed out, it's so true, because you may be sitting in the same place, the same surroundings, but I feel traveling is a mindset as well.
Your mind and heart are somewhere else.
Literally, like, you know, you've just transported yourself to
it's
a
in
place.
focus because you see it, like, when you see it like that, and they, you know, the voice and, you know, the sound, they put it all in there and you feel it. And when you feel that, you open your eyes. Like, nature is such an important part of everything, and I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough. Nature. So me, that might be the next topic. No hints.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
But yeah, like traveling, I think, you know, even because I know so many people who do travel, but they don't have a travel mindset, so they don't appreciate or they don't experience what the next person might actually be feeling. Such a totally different feeling, and it's just like, that's what I mean by travel mindset, I think. It's because you're constantly wanting to seek. Travel to me is like seeking something,
seeking knowledge,
whatever it is. Like you're seeking something, knowledge,
guidance,
maybe
chillaxing,
healing,
easing your mind.
Out loud again.
But like, no, it's true. Like, you know, we're all trying to gain something from traveling.
So yeah, it's a very important part. I think everybody needs a bit of a travel moment.
And I think, like,
builds character.
Yeah, it definitely does.
And I feel like as Muslims as well, we need to emphasize on traveling, because it's actually like a sunnah, I think.
It is.
Yeah, it is like everybody and everyone.
Because like the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, encouraged us to travel to faraway lands and stuff, because that's how Islam traveled, that's how Islam spread. And it's like, we should do that, and we should emphasize for our youth or for our elders as well to travel and experience the world that Allah's given us, and not just be limited to one space or one time.
Definitely, fully agreed with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, traveling, thumbs up.
Anything else you want to say?
No, I think we covered it all.
Go out there and travel.
If you can.
If you can. And it doesn't even have to be far. It could just be like seeing a new side to your own city, discovering new places.
Yeah, you're not wrong. To be honest, I didn't know half of Peterborough, so...
Exactly.
I mean? That's kind of
sometimes just going outside and just looking up and looking at it, you see so many different things you haven't seen before.
Yeah, every time we go to town, we see something different.
That's
honestly
true.
Do you know what? If you really think about it, well, even if you just look into the sky, just you see this clouds moving, and it's just like, even that, to me, I find it amazing just to see how like fast it's going, and like, do you know
I feel
what mean?
peaceful looking at the sky, you know.
But
yeah. Like, I heard this quote that it's like, the world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page of it.
Oh, that's a nice quote.
I know, because like,
pulling out the quote.
but it's important. Like, this is why people say this stuff, and because we can only see it from one perspective unless we feel it.
Yeah.
Feel and knowing, I think. It's like, knowledge can only take you to the door, but it's your feelings that open that door for you.
Definitely, because you have to really mean something to fully embrace it. Do you know what I mean?
I think by traveling, you're writing your own book, you're writing your own stories.
And inshallah, we can all do that.
Inshallah. If not, watch a David Attenborough.
Yes, that's the advice we're giving you. Okay, Jazakallah everyone for listening in to our show today with me, Mia.
Me, Saf.
Me, Maliha.
Assalamu alaikum.
And thank you for listening.
Thank you.